Tsakulandirani ku module 3 yomwe focus yathu tikufuna tuone ma designing concepts. Ndiye zimene tinakonza ndizoti timalizitse gawo lathu la kungokupangani introduce ku graphics designing, because we are not here to talk, we are here to design. Ndiye be maleson oyambirirawa timafuna tingokupangani introduce kuti designing imakhala motani, kapena kuti tikamati graphics designing ndiyo tani kwenikweni. So the purpose of this lesson is to make you know what bad communication is. Komanso to give you the designing process kuti maenda motani, and finally to make you be familiar with the do's and don'ts in terms of graphics designing. So when it comes to bad communication, if you look at these three posters, you will see kuti poster yamba, the only mistake imene idachitika the content. There is too much content here. Designer yo sada mpange guide munthu amene anampatsa information hiyo, anangonena kuti popeza wandipatsa information ine ndikufuna ndalama, let me just pamika all the information. So as a designer you are not supposed to do that. Chifukwa anthu azoona izizi, they are not going to blame the one who gave you the information. They are going to blame you as a designer kuti you failed. Chifukwa iweyo as a designer sumeneka kungovomera kuti ndipange paste all the information that the person sent it to you. Zima paragraph zonse kuunjika pa poster. That's not how we design. So in my tutorials you'll see kuti I use few information. Ma text anga sama kalambiri, you will count them. Pamene this one you can see kuti simungamalize kuwerenga unless muli ndi nthawi. Tikabwera pa poster yachiwiri, you will see kuti information is not visible. Little League shows and Lola Mag present, munthu kuvutika kuwerenga. Komanso if you can see apa mawu aduka school sakuoneka bwino. Muona kuti yakuoneka bobo, komano kwinaku it's like the C is being kaya duka kaya chinachitika nchani, koma this is bad designing. And the coloring itself sana bange combine bwino, even though agwisa ntchito ma colors atatu, komano the design is poor, and this is bad communication. Similarly here, muona kuti the yellow here is not matching with the red behind it. Komanso poster sizu kufunika kuti poster yo ingomatidwa chonchi the way it is. So this is also bad communication. And mukaona poster hii muona kuti it's not about the designing, it's about the content itself. You'll see kuti munthu owerenga apapa you are not communicating properly. Poor punctuation marks. Attention, toilet only for disabled, elderly, pregnant, children. Thank you for shopping with us. So kwa munthu owerenga mukaona here, this is what munthu owerenga ataone. Aona kuti this is a disabled individual. This is a disabled individual akwendera wanyamula chinjinga uku, ndodo ya chitsulo with one leg. I'm not offending anyone here. Komanso according to the poster, elderly, munthu umeona kuti ndi wokalamba, ndi wachikulire, zindevu zake. At the same time pregnant, you see kuti kamimba kafufuma. And then children, so this is a child, akuoneka mwachi mwananso. At the same time akuoneka mwachikulu, komanso ndi pregnant. Yeah, so this is bad communication, because what I trying to communicate to people, you are confusing them. So attention, toilet only for disabled, elderly, pregnant children. No. As a designer, you really need to check your grammar, and you have to check your punctuation, because izizi zimene zimakupangitsa kuti ukhale munthu olephera. So this is what we call bad communication. I could have given a lot of examples, komano for the sake of my lesson athu akuti sitifuna kuti adzichuluka zoyankhula tisira pompa kumbali ya kupereka zitsanzo zokhuzana ndi bad communication. And then let's go to designing process. As you can see, step number 1 in designing, it's briefing, and then you go per research, and then you go per strategy, and then number 4 development, and finally presentation. So let's look at each of these processes. Pankhani ya briefing chimene chimachitika nchonena kuti ino as a designer munthu wabwera kuti mundipangire design chakuti. The first thing inuyo, after getting the wishes from your client, inuyo mutu moyo you need to have a point of reference kuti zizi zimene akuyankhula, I think I can use the same poster as I designed last time, or I can use that other poster, or I can design ngati mene anapangira wakuti kapena ngati mene chiti chakuti chicha. So hii imakupatsa clear picture of what to design. So as you can see here on the picture, this is a client has come to you say, okay, I want mundipangire design pogwirisira ntchito maybe InDesign, Adobe InDesign. So you as a graphics designer, you are thinking, no. Mene akufotokozera you, I cannot use InDesign. I have to use maybe Adobe Illustrator kapena Photoshop. So this is what we mean briefing. Mukuyeneka mupeze information yokwanira. Ngati wakupasa ni chiparagraph kapena wakupasa ni A4 page yoti mupange po capture information yoti muike pa poster. You don't have to paste the whole page pa poster yako. You will have to have a reference point komaso client uja nkumufusa ma main points onena kuti you should include bachani pa poster pacha, not the whole information. And then once you have been given the information, the designer has to do a research. So that research, you are doing it in order to look into different types of designs from your competitors. But then abanga design umatha kuona kuti mena ndipasira information iyi. It does not necessarily mean kuti information imene akupatsayo ndekuti wakudalira iwe weka. Because once you design something poorly, iye ndekuti ali ndi ufulu opita kukampatsa wina kuti apange design, and you say kuti mwaona ina again napatsa ndipangira design ichi, can you do something better than this? We don't need my customers kuti aziyankhula zimenezo. We need the customers to say, wow, this is what I've been looking for. So in order for you to do that, you need to do a research kuti my competitors are around you, amene akupanga so design ndi ndani. So how can I stand out kuti anthu anene kuti okay, this is the individual amene tizepitisa ma designs yathu. You look at Airtel, TNM, they have their own designers. FD Communications design for TNM. FD Communications the company yomwe apanga design ma posters, ma banners for TNM. And other companies, they have chosen FD Communications. Why? Because they have got good designers. I don't work there, but I've seen their work. You also have witnessed how they do their designs. So you'll see kuti my designers, they are unique. Because of their uniqueness, my client ama apatsa ntchito chakuti na mukafuna chakuti amenanga kupangeni design bwino, it's this individual. So you need to look into those types of designs from your competitors ndikupanga chinthu chowaposa iwacha. And also you need to look into current designing methods or trends kuti pakala panopa when we are designing, and ndiziti zimene zimakhala common in their designs. When you look to websites, you will see kuti most of the websites, they have got cards. So if you are designing a website, it means ndekuti makadi asaleperemo. Once makadi akalepera, ndekuti iwe your design ikala questionable. Komaso ndekuti ngati sukufuneka questionable, you need to do better than kuti munthu apange opt for a designer who put in cards. Komanso at the same time you look at history, how others have designed such type of of product. Inaenda patsidwapo maijeni ma companies angapo amene amayamba kumene amandipasa kuti ndapangire design mwina phala box kati mapangira ara processors acha a package yotazikiramo phala. I could look into kuda araba ampanga bwanji ma companies ena amene akupanga za phala zampanga bwanji, then mapita mu shop kuja ndukukaona. I look into them and I say okay, I have to design something better than this. Ndikupanga design pali akuti Nana's Polish, I am the one who designed it. Ndi ma companies ena amene mwina siningachule hapa pazifukwa zina. So as a designer, you really have to do a research, a proper research before you dwell into designing your product. Now, from research, you go to strategy. You analyze your results and you decide which tools to use. According to information menda ipezera, according to my wishes a client wanga, according to research menda pangai, I think I'll use Adobe Photoshop. Why? Because Adobe according to my features are. And when you are doing research as well, my software pangira so design, they have to be included. Because you have to know kuti ndi mmene akufunira uyu poster yi kweneka kuti ndingaipange bwino which software. So you also do a research on those. So once you have analyzed your results, you decide which tools to use and then how long it will take for you to design and etc. etc. Zambiri is amazing for and then you start your development. From there you present your results to the client as a draft. You should be flexible. You don't have to be rigid. You should be flexible as a designer, because muntu amene ampangira design uja will surely say kuti pakuti paja mutapanga your design is perfect, your design is marvelous, koma just change zakuti zija. And the way as a designer, don't feel offended with akuninyozesa. No, you have to be flexible for suggestions or changes. So those are the reviews and feedback. And iwe also as a designer, you can guide your client. No. The information munatipasa janzambiri amwene siningaike zonsezi japachani pa poster. Poster icho ncho singaoneke bwino yayi. Pazifuka zakuti ndiye kumpanga so guide. This is a process where you and the client now you are talking product jamutaipanga kale. And after that you agree on one possible outcome and then you tweak or edit. From there you are able to deploy or launch the final product. The client is happy and you are happy as a designer, and it is also good for you to promote your brand by posting the results on your platforms. Ma post amene wapanga design aje kama apangira design anthu ena ake muzike zimenezo pa social media kaya ndi mushop mwanu muja, so that people can appreciate your work. Don't hide your work. If you don't put yourself in a position to be noticed, nobody will. So don't feel ashamed of your work. So finally, let's look at the do's and don'ts. You don't need to be good at drawing. Tikayamba baba. Don't feel good in a cinema takujambula, because izizi ndi zinthu zosavuta. Anthu amangozivutitsa chifukwa amafuna zizitenga ngati kuti iwo ndiye ndi anangobada kuti azapange design. No, it's not like that. And you don't need to spend years in college. Palibe za ku college hapa yayi. Whether munapanga zachani kaya munapanga zokuza upunzisi kaya munapanga zokuza kukoma matebulo, you can still design. You can still become a designer, a graphics designer. You also don't need to spend more money on equipment. Once you have a PC, it's enough. You can design outstanding products using a computer. Of course, it is ena kuti computer yake imene mukufunika kuti mukhale nayo ndi yakuti. Koma for now, kungo yankhulako mwamba, you really need a PC with graphics card, minimum ikale 512 megabytes. That's VRAM. It's also just photocopies. So I also make a video before starting the practicals. Tizayamba kumayambiliroko ku photocopies kuti these are the requirements for a minimum PC kuti munthu apangire design. Yeah. So finally, let's look at the do's. You need to have visual thinking skills, as we already said in lesson yataija. You also need to be good at research, because you cannot be a good designer if you don't do research. You need to be open to change. Don't be a rigid individual. Be flexible. So you need to speak Adobe. Here we are talking about you have to understand Adobe products and other designing tools. So izizi ndizimene kufuna kuti inoyo mupange. Izizi ndizimene tizakali tikuyamba kupanga kusogoloko. So next lesson will be poster designing using Ronya Soft. Tanena kuti tiyamba ndi Ronya Soft because Adobe it's a more complex software than Ronya Soft. So anthu amayambira pa Microsoft Publisher. Publisher have said kuti it's not a designing software yoti munthu azinyadira kuti ndimata kupanga design I use Publisher. No. We'll use Ronya Soft. I'm not diminishing Microsoft products here. Komano kumbali ya ineyo malesson yangawa will use Ronya Soft because I recommend it more than I recommend Microsoft Publisher. So we will have to remove the IM from impossible to possible. Yeah? Tukufuna kuti you should be designing something like this. And akaona design, I'm not saying this is a perfect design, but at least you can see information in yoti muntu akoza kuwerenga ndikupeza hapo china chake. This was just a sample for you to, let's say this is your logo and your slogan, marketing is a key. You can see good information siambiri, and the way the colors have been matched is just awesome. So what I want is you to design something like this. Muna so muzandi pose. Right? So in the next lesson we are starting our designing course. So I will send you Ronya Soft so that you install it. My lesson I also send a lesson so that you know how to install Ronya Soft. I'll just do a lesson on how to install Ronya Soft before the next lesson comes. So see you in the next lesson.